Welcome to Third Party News for Retro Robot Radio for the date of June 7th, 2014. Beelzeboss have shown off art of an upcoming accessory for Masterpiece Wheeljack called the Mad Machine, which is based on the Generation 1 Immobilizer. BMOG Toys have shown off that most of their stock have arrived from the factory, and they'll be shipping out soon. They just need to go through and trim a little flash off a few pieces. Also, they've shown off the BotCon exclusive version of their Manta and Bear toys, who will be called the Dread Pickaxe Raybot and Pegpaw Plunder. These are a purplish color that's similar to Generation 1 Scorponok. Newcomer Boldforms have shown off more images of their upcoming Megatron-inspired Voyager figure. Interesting about this figure is that it will be a triple changer, turning from robot to tank to handgun mode. Also, Boldforms is working on a combiner based on Generation 1 Menasor, showing off their Motormaster inspired figure, and another figure who is one of the Stunticons. DMY have shown off their final in-package images of their D01 add-on for the Classics Deluxe Optimus Prime figure. This set includes a matrix, a axe, a rifle, and some new heads for the figure. Dr. Wu have shown off renders of their DWP-21 add-on for Masterpiece G2 Lambor. This set is a bandolier and a thigh strap with grenades and ammunition for your G2 Sideswipe. Fanstoys have shown off the final in-package images of their Scoria figure, who is a Masterpiece scaled version of Generation 1 Slag. They've also shown off the contents of the box, which includes the figure, a sword, a pistol, alternate heads, and a set of lifts for Masterpiece Grimlock. Fanstyle have shown off some completed images of their upcoming hands for the Masterpiece Prowl, Blue Streak, and Smokescreen figure. These hands are highly articulated replacements for the ones that come on the original figures. Keith's Fantasy Club have been showing off black test shots of their upcoming Sancho Barbosa, Haiku, and Tsunami figures. These figures are based on Brave Captain Shark, Skybite, and Energon Sharkticon, and according to KFC, they'll be coming out sometime in June. KFC have also announced a set of pistols and sword that will be coming out separately based on the ones that are coming with the Tempest figure, the Voyager-sized Cyclonus. The sword, called the Tempest Saber, is based on the great swords seen in the IDW comic book series used by Cyclonus and other characters. TFW 2005 members Megatron 31 and L. Thurin have come up with a plan to make some optional add-ons for the Mastermind Creations Feral Rex combiner. These add-ons are a set of claws that can be fit onto the combiner hands, as well as a set of swords that can be used by the individual not Predacons. These swords have 5mm handles and would actually work with any other figure that has a 5mm handhold, including the TFC Toys Ares Combiner. Eltharin and Megatron 31 are taking pre-orders for these add-ons now. There will be a link to the sales thread in the show notes. At a recent get-together, Mastermind Creations showed off their RC-inspired Azalea transformer, as well as a test shot of it next to their Predaking combiner. There was some early teasing that the Azalea RC figure would also come out in a Predacons colored version. We're not sure if this is just a lucky test shot that happens to be close in colors, or if we'll actually be getting one like this as the Predaqueen. Renderform was also on hand at the get-together, showing off their alternate head for the Fans Project Steel Core, which is based on Energon Ultra Magnus, as well as a set of replacement heads for the Mech Ideas Gauntlet figure, and a new sword and shield combo called Project Leonite. Renderform is also going to be making a set of heads for the Beast Hunter's Darksteel figure and its Japanese recolor that are based on the Generation 1 Deathsaurus. This will go really well with the Repro Labels sticker set for Darksteel that makes it into Deathsaurus. What, did they plan this stuff? Shapeshift Inc. recently did an interview on the Powwow Show podcast where they talked about their first two figures, Heavy Metal and Sky Snake, who are legend-sized versions of Fall of Cybertron, Ironhide, and Starscream. They also hinted at future projects that will depend greatly on the feedback from the first project. They are possibly doing combiners or could do larger figures depending on the demand. Personally, I think they're really nice figures, but I think I could stand for them being slightly larger. If they do keep them small, making them into a combiner, particularly one we haven't seen yet, would be great. No, I don't want a slightly smaller version of Hasbro's Bruticus, but if you could make a Fall of Cybertron Menasor, I'll be all over it. Toyworld have shown off the robot mode prototype images of their TW-T05 Goldbug inspired figure. This figure will probably come out after their Freeway homage, which has not been seen yet, and will probably be the head of their Throttlebot inspired combiner figure. The figure transforms into a coupe style car and definitely shows a Goldbug style head. The actual coupe car that it turns into was available in gold, so it'll probably be in that paint pattern. Unique Toys have been showing off the final product images and collector's card for their UTD-01 Salmore figure, who is inspired by the GoBot Psykill. Salmore turns from robot into motorcycle, of course. Oddly, he comes with some plastic add-ons that add spikes to his wheels, but I think he looks fine without them. He'll also come with some muffler cannons and rubber tires. Warbotron have shown off the prototype image of the combine mode for their third combiner figure, who is simply known as WB03. He is clearly a Computron-inspired figure and will be sized to go along with Masterpiece-style figures. The Scattershot torso will be about the same size as the MP10 Optimus Prime, where the four combiner limbs inspired by Nosecone, Afterburner, Strafe, and Lightspeed will be about the size of a Masterpiece Autobot car each. Yes, this is the second combiner based on Computron to be announced recently, with Make Toys' other one called Quantron also coming out. Quantron is a much smaller figure and will be sold in a 5-pack, whereas this one is a much larger figure and will probably be sold individually. X-Transbots have shown off vehicle mode renders of their Sonic and Haas figure. The pre-order for Haas should be going up by the time you hear this podcast. Sonic is inspired by the GoBot Turbo, and Haas is inspired by the GoBot Road Ranger. For this week's Spotlight, I'd like to take a minute to discuss the size of third-party transforming figures. One of the biggest complaints that I've noticed going on the boards about any announced figure is that it's the wrong size. Either a figure is much too big or much too small to fit into my collection. I'm guilty of this myself. For instance, in this week's news, the Shapeshift Inc. Legends class Fall of Cybertron Ironhide and Starscream, called Heavy Metal and Skysnake, are just too small to fit in my Fall of Cybertron collection. Meanwhile, the Warbotron version of Computron is just too big, being a masterpiece figure, where I'm a classics collector. But I think this also provides a great opportunity for third-party companies. Yeah, fans are picky when it comes to the size of their figures. But this also means that if a toy's already been released, but you want to make one of that same figure, just release it in a different size class, and you're going to have a different clientele than the company that already made the figure. Maquis Toys made their version of Computron, which was really small. And some people are going to like it that way. Other people are going to go, wow, that is so much better as a masterpiece class figure. The point being, there's plenty of room for all the different size classes to come out. So let's see lots of different sizes of the same characters. Just gives us all more choice. Well, that's my opinion anyway. Thanks for listening. This week's screen capture is of the Protector 101 robot from the cheesy 1986 sci-fi horror film Killbots, also known as Chopping Mall. As it says on the movie poster, where shopping costs you an arm and a leg. This week's news brought to you from the pages of tformers.com and TFW 2005. News read by Matthew Ignash. Be sure to check out our YouTube page at Retro Robot Radio and leave a comment. And check out the third-party TF Crashers on Facebook.